In a world where connection is often celebrated as the highest virtue and solitude is frequently misunderstood as loneliness, an ancient Buddhist expression offers a different kind of wisdom. Go alone like a rhinoceros horn. This profound exhortation, found in the Khaggavisāṇa Sutta of the Sutta Nipata, challenges conventional assumptions about the human condition. At first glance, it may appear to endorse isolation or detachment from society. However, upon deeper reflection, it offers insight into a powerful inner freedom, one that is grounded in clarity, courage, and purpose. This Carefree Sloth's video explores the meaning, historical background, philosophical significance, and modern relevance of the phrase, "Go alone like a rhinoceros horn." Drawing from Buddhist teachings, literary references, and psychological insights, we seek to understand why solitude, when embraced with mindfulness and wisdom, can be a source of strength, clarity, and liberation. In an age marked by distraction, conformity, and emotional overload, this message calls us to turn inward, live authentically, and walk our path with conviction.
The phrase, "Go alone like a rhinoceros horn," originates from the Khaggavisāṇa Sutta, a text from the Sutta Nipata, one of the earliest collections of the Buddhist teachings. The term Khaggavisāṇa is derived from Khagga, rhinoceros, and Visāṇa, horn, forming an image that emphasizes solitary movement. Strong, unwavering, and solitary. This sutta contains a series of verses that all end with the refrain, Eko Kare Khaggavisāṇa Kapo, which translates to, "Wander alone like a rhinoceros horn." Each stanza highlights the distractions, attachments, and entanglements of worldly life. From familial bonds and romantic enticements to societal pressures and emotional dependencies, and then recommends the solitary path as a means of liberation. Importantly, this is not an advocacy for antisocial behavior or emotional coldness. Rather, the sutta underscores the importance of inner discipline, emotional independence, and freedom from attachment in the pursuit of spiritual awakening. The rhinoceros horn is not merely a symbol of isolation, but of focused direction, resilience, and inner strength.
Solitude has always played a central role in Buddhist practice. Siddhartha Gautama, before becoming the Buddha, left behind his royal family, wealth, and comforts to seek the truth. His journey through forests, mountains, and hermitages illustrates the necessity of stepping away from societal distractions to find the deeper truths of existence. In the stillness of nature and the silence of solitude, he discovered the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Many Buddhist texts, including the Dhammapada, emphasize the value of solitude, not for its own sake, but as a means to understand the nature of the mind. Solitude allows one to observe thoughts without interference, to understand emotions without projection, and to dissolve the ego that is often fed by social identity and comparison. The Khaggavisāṇa Sutta offers a poetic elaboration of this ideal. The repeated exhortation to wander alone suggests a deliberate departure from conventional roles and expectations. In solitude, one does not seek validation or approval. Instead, one finds peace within. As such, going alone like a rhinoceros horn becomes a metaphor for inner maturity, a quiet defiance against the chaos of desire and distraction.
From a philosophical perspective, the idea of walking alone aligns with existentialist thought, particularly that of Jean-Paul Sartre and Friedrich Nietzsche. Sartre posited that human beings are condemned to be free, bearing the weight of their choices in a world without inherent meaning. In this light, solitude is not a punishment but a responsibility. an honest engagement with one's freedom and moral accountability. Nietzsche's ideal of the Übermensch, the overman who creates his own values, also resonates with the image of the lone rhinoceros. The Übermensch is not swayed by herd mentality or conventional morality, but lives according to an internal compass. Similarly, the rhinoceros horn points in a single, unwavering direction, regardless of the crowd's motion. From a psychological standpoint, solitude, when chosen consciously, can be deeply nourishing. Psychologists such as Carl Jung emphasized the need for withdrawal and introspection as part of the individuation process, the journey toward becoming one's true self. Contemporary research also shows that solitude can enhance creativity, emotional regulation, and mental clarity. In contrast, chronic social entanglement can lead to stress, confusion, and loss of self-identity. Thus, the phrase, "Go alone like a rhinoceros horn," may be interpreted as an invitation to cultivate self-awareness, autonomy, and resilience. It is not a call to abandon others, but to stop abandoning oneself.
In today's hyperconnected world, where social media, instant messaging, and the 24/7 news cycle keep our minds perpetually occupied, solitude has become both rare and undervalued. Many people fear being alone, mistaking it for loneliness or irrelevance. Yet, constant connectivity often masks a deeper disconnection from oneself, from purpose, from silence. The ancient call to go alone becomes a radical act in such a context. It is a rejection of digital overstimulation, of performative lifestyles, and of dependency on external validation. It is a return to the basics: breath, thought, being. However, this teaching can be misinterpreted. Some may see it as an excuse to escape responsibility, reject relationships, or cultivate spiritual arrogance. But the Buddhist path never promotes selfishness or nihilism. The solitary path is a preparatory one, a phase of inward purification that eventually leads to compassionate engagement with the world. The Buddha himself spent time in solitude, but returned to teach, heal, and serve others. Monks and meditators retreat into silence, not to disconnect forever, but to recharge and re-enter society with greater wisdom and kindness. Solitude is the soil in which compassion can take root.
Nature provides ample metaphors to understand the wisdom of solitude. Consider the rhinoceros, not an aggressive creature by nature, but one that roams its path alone, undeterred by noise or crowd. It is self-reliant, grounded, and singular in its presence. Likewise, the tree that grows alone on a hilltop does not suffer from the absence of a forest. It receives the same sunlight, absorbs the same rain, and may even withstand storms better because of its deep roots. In isolation, its uniqueness is revealed. Similarly, the moon travels alone through the night sky, casting light without asking for praise. The mountain stands apart, yet touches the heavens. These images remind us that solitude, when aligned with inner purpose, is not lack but abundance, not emptiness but fulfillment.
How then can we practice the spirit of going alone like a rhinoceros horn in modern life? First, we can cultivate intentional solitude. This means setting aside time each day to be without distractions. No phones, no social media, no external noise. In these moments of silence, we meet ourselves honestly. We begin to hear the quiet voice of intuition, of truth. Second, We can learn to make decisions based on internal clarity rather than external pressure. Whether in career, relationships, or spiritual practice, following one's path requires the courage to say no, to wait, or to walk away when necessary. Like the rhinoceros, we must trust our inner compass. Third, we can detach from toxic relationships or environments that drain our energy or distort our sense of self. While community is essential, not all company is beneficial. Discernment is key. Choosing to walk alone at times is not a failure, but an act of self-respect. Finally, we can engage with the world from a place of wholeness rather than need. When solitude becomes a source of strength, our interactions become more compassionate and less dependent. We do not grasp or cling. We give and receive freely.
The phrase, "Go alone like a rhinoceros horn," is more than an ancient Buddhist verse. It is a mirror reflecting a timeless truth. In solitude, we discover our essence. In walking alone, we often find the most authentic path. This does not mean we must become hermits or reject human connection. Rather, it calls us to cultivate a kind of sacred aloneness, a self-grounded presence that does not waver with the winds of opinion or fear. It is an invitation to know ourselves deeply, live truthfully, and walk forward with clear eyes and a steady heart. In a world full of noise, the one who walks silently like a rhinoceros horn carries not only wisdom but peace. And perhaps, in the stillness of that walk, others too will find the courage to journey inward and forward. So let us not fear solitude. Let us embrace it. Let us go alone. Not in sorrow, but in strength. Like the rhinoceros horn, singular, steadfast, and free.
Thanks for watching. Life is a journey, so take it slow, be mindful, and enjoy the moment. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom and relaxation. Stay peaceful, and I'll see you next time.